Well, thank you very much, Brother President Maduro, for the invitation. To Jorge, greetings to all of you. First of all, I'm convinced, Brother Maduro, that Fidel and Chavez are joining us in a spiritual way in this meeting. The most important is not forget the lessons that are being told to us. I was a deputy with Fidel and Chavez. I couldn't understand how Fidel said, Hugo, we will do this or that. Only one memory with miracle mission. We were in Havana. Hugo, we have to bring people with side issues and we're going to operate them freely. In a moment, Fidel said to Hugo, in Latin America, we're going to be able to make eye surgery to 10,000 people. And I thought in that moment, this Fidel is crazy. 10,000 people with eye surgery for free, but when we got there with miracle mission with brothers and sisters from Venezuela, only in Bolivia they did eye surgery to more than 7,000 brothers and sisters from Bolivia. Brothers and sisters, in that time, Brother Maduro was saying that in April 19th, over more than 200 years, the first revolution wars were having been taken. But also, that time, the United States started to make politics. The Monroe Doctrine started. It was terrorism with Cold War. What did they want with Cold War? They didn't want a socialist tendency government and progressive governments to be, and less of all, anti-imperialism. And now we have two strong governments, Cuba and Venezuela, anti-imperialism governments. And we have a human tendency governments. The imperialism is in the key. And all this politics of American for the Americans, for Latin Americans, for the United States, it was a failure. That started in 1823, 1845. The manifest destination. The United States thinks that God sends them to get into the natural resources worldwide. Only we have to see in Bolivia or some countries in Latin America. We have already been trying to get back our natural resources. Another big failure of the politics of the imperialism. So the time passed and now we have other politics. And we can only think that the United States has security, and from here we are listening to them speaking about worldwide security. It's a hard struggle that we have to face. This pretext of national security translate into coup d'etat, military interventions, and I only want to make a quick talk that the Bolivia hits are not accepting the native population, that the native population can lead a profound revolution, and they're not accepting that. Second of all, in my experience, the young people are not accepting that the neoliberalism economical model can be upfronted by other model. The recovery from our natural resources will be a long talk, but mainly the coup d'etat has been The blow hit to the lithium to make an industry from the lithium. We started from scratch, and we are in the viewpoint. I'm sharing the words of our brother Joao Pedro. November 18th of 2022, Donald Trump said to the conservatives try to get together in Mexico. We have to stop, and I'm quoting, we are here and convinced, and I don't have no one to convince, but I have to convince who are doubting still from capitalism. So what said Donald Trump? And we need to stop the expansion of socialism and just not allow them to continue to get into the region and the land. And we need to reconstruct our economy to support our workers and our families. End of the quote. First, brothers and sisters, they say that the region is land of Donald Trump, and that's a lie. You can see that. I'm not lying. That was said in Mexico in a press conference in a conservative party. That's saying that we are their land. And I'm convinced myself that United States is not an economical potency anymore. Maybe it is with NATO, army, weapons potency. I want to improve development for the support of our workers and our family, because for Donald Trump, we are their workers and his family. July 2022, the lithium orb expansion. The commander of the South Command, Laura Richardson, declared in the Security Forum of Aspen, United States state of Colorado, that the United States citizens were really worried about the South subjects, but that the South is our neighborhood. From the commander of the South, Latin America is his own backyard and his own neighborhood. Speaking about lithium, February 4th, 2023, General Richardson again says, the natural resources are available for our needs. End of the quote. Again, and if those countries only can produce and give it to us, would nothing happen to them. End of the quote. We can realize that the last declaration from Argentina to the commander, and speaking about lithium. So what is the asset of Venezuela? Copper, gold, and oil. Publicly, they say that. In what are you interested in Bolivia? Lithium. Our struggle, brothers and sisters, is greater. It's not a small issue. And sometimes I say we're there like in every country having issues for small things. And I want to let you know that the coup d'etat, the ones that are gaining the hits, were trying to get the native populations movement. The movement by heritage, the native populations by heritage are anti-colonialism, anti-imperialism. That was led us by those leaders from those times. Still some people are trying to get under those native movements, but we're going to defend our movements, because that will be a recolonization. Because in 14 years we've been proven that Bolivia has a lot of hope and a lot of future. A lot of time we scream, another world is possible. And we have been experienced that another Bolivia, it is possible to get united to defend our natural resources. Brothers and sisters, the goal, what's the goal then? Not only two countries liberated, Cuba and Venezuela, but from 15, 20 years, 15, 5 countries consolidated anti-imperialism, which is starting. They're going to be coup d'etat, they're going to be military bases, and we have to continue the freedom. There will be provocations, by example, the attack of Ecuador is not the Ecuadorian people, but the attack to Mexico, of Argentina to Venezuela, of Argentina to Bolivia. They're trying to win by dividing Latin America. In my experience, they're trying to divide us, to conquer us, is to rob our natural resources, and that's the struggle, not only in Latin America, but everywhere. Brothers and sisters, a lot of unity, a lot of experience. It takes a lot of work to unite, but for some, there's more harder to divide. But I have a lot of hope in countries consolidated as an anti-imperialist, like Cuba and Venezuela, with the socialist characters and pro-humankind character. We're going well. I know what the transnational and the world elite is thinking. To take care of the nature, they want to reduce the market, but they also want to reduce the population. When I was a president, I read a report from the International Monetary Fund that said that in the politics of the new world order, they were trying to reduce the unnecessary population. Which is the unnecessary population? The poor people. And they were trying to make a program to reduce the population. And those politics of the capitalism are they're compelling us to unite us. That experience, my experience from social struggle, from the field, from the street, from rural areas, from the mobilization, it is possible to change, starting from Latin America to the entire world. So, comrade, that professional, intellectual, all of you, for the life and for the humankind. Thank you very much. And from the north as well, great chief, son of Tupac Katari. Thank you very much, Evo. His wisdom, the ancestry wisdom of ours, that the colonialism tried to take away from us, because we are sons and daughters of the greatest ancestry, but we also lived the unlimited from the European colonialism and the whole continent. And now we are healing the wounds of this, and we are rescuing the simpler values, the humble values, the